Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Why don't you tell him, Canada Dry?
It means that we are live here on Dynamite After Dark with Lord Ryan Rich and EVP Joe, baby.
Hey, JFB, Canada Dry. Hit that music.
Boom!
From the producers of The Lion King, we have the best show after the show.
Hang up.
That's all systems go. Move that AFW logo up, stat.
You're watching the AFW Network.
It's Wednesday night. Welcome to this week's edition of Dynamite After Dark. I am, of course, the almighty, not Bobby Lashley. He stole that from me. I am the almighty JFB.
And I am, of course, your Canadian hero, your patron saint of professional wrestling, that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada effing Dry, and you might as well call me Mickey effing Mouse, baby.
Yeah. Let's talk to this guy down here. He's 1/4 of this show, also 1/4 of the Fantastic Four. Lay it on us.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the Lord of the Manor, and the shameless plugger of the Miller Lite for JFB.
Yeah.
I am Lord Ryan Rich, and I'm ready to talk some wrestling.
The guy below me is wearing a Young Bucks shirt. I don't know why. We did not coordinate. I did not ask him to. He just showed up wearing a Young Bucks shirt.
I mean, am I or am I not the EVP?
Bullshit.
It is only fitting. But you all know me. I'm EVP Joe. And before we go any further, I need someone to go check on Eric Bischoff, make sure he hasn't punched the air too much because, Dynamite has officially surpassed Monday Nitro.
He's just gonna type. He's gonna type something on X tonight, saying some weird reason why it doesn't matter.
He revolutionized the business. They haven't done anything. Who cares if they're on TV longer?
Eric Bischoff is great at creating a product. Sustaining it is completely different.
I got something that's going to make. I got something that's going to make you laugh, okay? Because earlier on one of the posts on Facebook, someone put up says, "Yeah, AEW has officially surpassed Monday Nitro for the most shows on TNT." And someone literally said that only happened because WCW went out of business. Well, yeah, that's how that happens.
That's what happens. You don't stay in business. You're gonna get passed.
It's called cause and effect.
Right.
See, when something happens, there's a result.
Yep.
Did you guys know we were made by the same guys who made The Lion King?
That was news to me.
Same makers.
I didn't know that we were done by Disney.
We're done by Disney?
I don't know. That someone who worked
that
for
guy
Disney.
just said.
Someone who worked for Disney.
You know what that means? Canada Dry is officially a Disney princess.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I already told you I'm Mickey fucking Mouse.
You can be anyone you want, my princess. You can be anybody you want.
You just have to be on the adult section of Disney Plus. You got to make sure you put in a password.
Yeah.
Or a 4-digit PIN.
That's what I meant by password, yeah. Password.
So,
how adult does this Disney Plus get?
I mean,
Dynamite
there's
After Dark
section where you see Donald Duck doing the most disgusting things to Daisy Duck that you have ever seen. You can't even imagine.
Donkey Puncher.
Cleveland Steamer, a Toronto Maple Leaf. I mean,
I don't even know what a Toronto Maple Leaf is.
What about the Texas Sidewinder?
I would like to do one show where we just spend 10 minutes coming up with sex.
Did you hear what Piglet did to Eeyore on Winnie the Pooh?
On or in?
Anyway,
I'm not doing any descriptions.
why he's sad all the time? He's like, geez.
He's like,
be on
"Hey,
and
this will go. I guess you're getting gang raped again."
Oh, bother.
Welcome back, Dynamite After Dark.
Oh God, we've lost the plot.
AEW.
This is what happens when I'm gone for a while. The silliness just naturally comes out. We got to get it all out of our system.
I might as well start off just to tell you guys what's in what we're doing in the flower shop today. So give you lots of time to think about it.
What are we doing?
We're doing your elementary school crush. Who was your elementary school crush? Now, in Canada, elementary school is 1 to 7, so that's the area we're talking about.
Man, that's gonna be tough. Can it be like?
And we're gonna hear some names that people are like, "He had a crush on me." Holy shit!
Like I already told you, I don't know. Like I could barely.
You gotta give us a name. You gotta give us a name.
No, literally,
this
you
is
don't
the
understand.
thing. I went to in that amount of time, I went to the same amount of schools. So
I
never really had enough time to.
Yes, you can just put down your buddy Tom. I don't care.
I swear, I went to 3 schools in one grade. That's how messed up my early years were.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, I didn't really have.
I got names. I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't.
Throw someone out.
I don't.
basically what we're doing is we're creating a situation.
I mean,
where there's
if
gonna be
you want, I could tie a real life happening of something that happened to me in the 5th grade. I can provide a story.
Okay.
That would be quite humorous.
All right, I'll allow it. Everybody else,
I'll save it for the flower shop. Save it for the flower shop.
Everybody's got to pick a school crush except for Rich. Rich is going to tell us his story. Anyways,
maybe no, we gotta give EDP Joe a chance to tell a story too. So if you want to tell a story, from your elementary school days.
Actually, I have a story that includes my crush. So it kind of I'm vertical integrating at the moment. I'm going to use my crush and story at the same time. Anyways,
you're crushing it, JP. You're crushing it.
I'm crushing it, and and my crush still lives in Boston, Massachusetts, where AEW Dynamite happened to have happened.
JP, you dropped a promo in the AFW league. Which was cool.
Yeah,
but you didn't give him the address. You said Effin' Wrestling. We're not even called that anymore.
Oh God, that's right. I forgot we totally changed.
AFW Network.
Yeah, we're corporate stooges now.
Don't take your vitamins too early. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
I
haven't had a chance to listen to it, but I opened Facebook and all I see is JFB's face just right like this. It's like the freeze frame was that. It's like they couldn't have picked what are they doing?
I think JP's got a cavity. Is that a cavity?
Yeah, you can see that I still have my tonsils. That's how close the camera was. Anyway,
is that a wisdom tooth he still got in there?
We go to Boston, Massachusetts. We kick off spring break AEW style. And we don't even, the only thing we start with is that we're informed that Hook was somehow attacked in the morning and will not wrestle. It's just going to be, and they're just advertising Joe and Shibata versus the 3 Death Riders. One of them not the actual trio champion, but they're free bird ruling it anyways. Okay, so it's going to be a 3-on-2 match for the trios championships. But that's the main event. And at this point, you think, oh, I'm sure they're going to do a Renee segment. No. They are going to kick off with the CEO, Mercedes Moné, taking on the forever Ring of Honor champion, Athena. That is your first match for the Owen Hart Cup Women's Qualifier. Canada Dry, start us off.
Yeah, I thought this was a banger to start the show.
Yeah,
Monet and and Athena brought it. It was a good match. It's a teaser though. It's not quite what we're gonna see in the future, but round one goes to Mercedes Moné.
Yep.
And tournament matches, remind you, they don't hurt people as much as a regular match when they lose.
I agree. Rich, your turn.
This match was ridiculously good. People have been waiting for it for a long time. The crowd was hot for it, especially having the hometown girl there involved. But just as many people were stoked to see Athena, because it's like we haven't seen her wrestle in Dynamite in like 2.5 years or something like that. Like, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So it was back and forth. I figured that Mercedes would have it pull out because she was the hometown girl. But it was down to the wire. I thought it was a great match.
Yeah. Joe.
Yeah, this match was awesome. Like, it got like a half an hour of time, which is ridiculous on a 2-hour show. But man, like, it was so great. And like you said, this maybe went into third gear. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, they tease so much. Like, I can't wait. I'm still fully convinced we're getting this rematch at All In, and I can't wait for it.
Okay. I'm going to say one thing, and then I'm going to talk about the match. Tony Khan created a show that it was just as good or better than some of their 4.5-hour pay-per-views, and he did it in just over 2 hours. Chef's kiss.
That's it. End of the show. End of the show. See you guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Brought to you by Miller Lite.
The match was amazing. And you're right. It's just a teaser trailer to what we will get. Maybe it All In. Maybe a double or nothing. Maybe at some point down the line. Build it. It's been built. You're building this story. Now, it sucks that Athena had to take a loss after 2+ years of not ever losing a singles match. It sucked. But I'm glad. I don't know what didn't click with Athena in her first run, but that Boston fans latched onto her like she was the second coming. I give it up to the fans.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that CEO is from Boston too. So
yeah.
I will say, like, and Mercedes won with a roll up. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't an uber dominant win. So there's definitely room to run this back.
Yeah, it wasn't her clunky finisher. And let's be honest, out of what Mercedes Moné can do, her finisher is horrible. Stick to the bank statement and leave it at that. Put her in a submission hold and make her tap. That weird putting her around your shoulder and then spinning your body while you drop her is ridiculous. You're going to kill someone. Just saying. You're going to get it. You're going to get a not very experienced wrestler at an indie show that you're at, and you're going to hurt or kill that person with that move. That's how stupid it is. But I digress. Let's move on to Renee with another interview with Hangman Page that doesn't happen because he's interrupted by the Elite. And the Elite, I mean the Bucks and Okada. As Hangman's walking off, Okada calls him a bitch. He comes running back into his face because I'm just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. Canada, you go first. I want to formulate my thought.
Yeah, I love these little special moments with Okada. Just that smile, and then the contrast. You can he's just playing up like I'm so innocent, but then you get this dead ass serious look at the end.
Yeah.
Just to show that he's got this other little facade that he plays.
I think it teases a match at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Go on.
But not quite yet, because the Elite they're still courting him. And this isn't going to fall through yet. But when it does,
oh boy,
it's gonna be a shitstorm.
It's gonna be epic. Well, Ryan Rich, your thoughts on this segment?
Yeah, to Canada Dry's point, I think that's why Hangman doesn't win the Owen, is because it's going to set up for him to go against the Continental Champion, Okada. Yep. Once all this goes down, that could be an all-in match, maybe, which I think would be a really cool match for all-in. And that might actually be where Okada drops the belt finally, after having it for a year and a half.
Okay.
But the match or the interview, the segment, I like it when the Bucks are dicks. That's when they're the best. So this is my favorite Bucks version. I didn't really like the last version as much, but this this reminds me of the guys like when Nick was like dyeing his parts of his goatee blonde.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of Bucks that I want to see. Those are my favorite type, just real douchebags.
Yeah.
I really like that. And I'm interested to see. And they're like, hey, we kind of, we did Swerve for you. How'd you like that? And talk about, don't worry about Death Riders. We'll smooth that over. So it's interesting to see where it's gonna go.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe.
Yeah, I love Okada and his facial expressions and just the way he delivers. For someone whose language isn't English, first language isn't English, like he's so great with it.
Yeah.
And
timing.
Yeah, and I agree. I think this is definitely leading to Okada and Hangman, but I think it's going to be a double or nothing. I don't think they're going to wait till All In.
Yeah.
Because I really think we're getting Omega and Okada 5 at All In.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, no, he's right, because they're talking about consolidating, so that could be.
Yeah. My problem with the whole Hangman Page, Renee, let her actually interview Hangman Page. Like, it's now a running joke. It's a running joke. Her only question was, how do you prepare for a person you don't know who you're going to wrestle? He's like, Renee,
in Hangman's
Hangman's
defense, she's asked this question like 3 times now and gotten the exact same answer. Yeah. Ain't nothing changing.
Ain't nothing changing. They bring out the Stanley Cup from 2011 at Game 7 that they won in Vancouver. I know.
How dare they bring this up?
I was there. I was in Vancouver at the stadium at the game, and when they won, we had a decision to make. Mind you, we were both drunk, and we had a decision. We could run, not knowing what would happen if we walked outside of the stadium wearing Bruins jerseys, or we could stay and watch the celebration. We stayed. We watched the celebration. And then we walked outside to what I only can describe as what California is going through right now. Everything was on fire. Cars were turned over. Things were on fire. Glass was broken. We hailed the only cab that would stop. And the reason why they stopped is because I put myself in front of the cab and took us to the hotel.
So you experienced Philly on a typical weekend, is what you're saying.
So yeah, I was. This is Game 7. This is my team. They're losing. So this girl I was dating is coming over to watch the game with me, and it's not really much to watch. We're losing, and there's not putting up much of a fight.
Yeah.
So we went out for sushi, and later we hooked up to drown our pain.
Ooh. All right. You got some loving. I almost got destroyed and killed. So
You got the cup. You got the cup.
yeah. But anyways, they bring out Tuukka Rask and the cup. And they hang on it for way longer than they should have. And Tuukka Rask looked like he had no idea where he was, what the hell he was doing. He was just standing there looking.
That's because he didn't know where he was or what he was doing.
Wait, was the Tuukka Rask the backup goalie for the Boston Bruins?
He was the backup goalie at that time, yes.
Like, that's the guy you can get for this.
It's because we traded 80% of that. I'm sorry. We traded or cut 100% of that.
Well, that's probably the only guy left in Boston
from
that time.
And to bring it up, because it happens later, Crispus is there, who happens to play, Porzingis, plays for the Boston Celtics. When they put the camera on him, he had the same exact look. Why am I on camera? I don't.
You're a freaking basketball player. That's why.
Anyways, we go to our second match. Hangman Page versus the question mark. Hangman Page comes out, and there's a hush. And then the audio plays, and the video board lights up, and people are like, ah. And then out comes the perfect weapon from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Josh Alexander. I'm only going to say this before I pass it around. Why they had to describe why he wears the headgear was gross. He lost his ear wrestling, and they had to reattach it, and that's why he wears the gear. Okay. I don't know why we needed to know that. They guess
I like that piece of information, JP. Like,
it was
that's
weird.
No, but it's cool because it's like origin story shit.
Yeah. All right,
That's
Ken,
why
go ahead. Go ahead with the first match with this match.
So like I'm not a TNA guy, so I haven't spent much time with Josh Alexander. So this is just like Speedball, Mike Bailey. This is my first Josh Alexander match, and he did not disappoint. This guy is good.
Yeah.
Instant fan. I he had a showing.
Yeah.
And what a perfect person to put him against, Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of the loss at first, and this isn't how I would have debuted him.
Yeah.
Debuting him at he could have been debuted 2 weeks earlier, and had a couple big wins, and then you have him in the tournament.
Yeah.
The wild card spot, to have a wild card spot lose, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Having a new guy debut lose.
Yeah. Unfortunately, him and Speedball Mike Bailey had the same issues. It's called having to deal with getting visas to work in the United States.
Yeah.
Apparently our government doesn't
It's a tough one right now.
Yeah. Apparently our government does not want the best in the world to come wrestle in AEW. So they held up his paperwork for almost a month longer than Speedball Mike Bailey. But nonetheless.
It's like, we don't know about that headgear. I'm not trusting this origin story.
But you know what? That's probably a good thing because you don't want too many debuts on top of each other because that's how people get lost.
Yeah. Lord Ron Rich, your thoughts on the second match?
I completely agree with Canada Dry. I don't like having someone come in and then having them lose automatically.
Yeah.
That to me, it downgrades the pop of this a person appearing. The match itself was good. The ending though, with Don Callis whispering into Josh Alexander's ear and then Alexander going in.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be a part of the Don Callis family? Because he walked away afterwards. Did he promise him some money? That's got to be answered, and I don't like the way that it was left. So overall, I like the match, but I don't really like the situation.
Okay.
Well, he's a heel.
Yeah.
Is he normally? I don't know. I don't know anything about the guy.
No. I'm like, it's established now.
apparently
AEW is a heel.
I guess
this
now.
thing he came out to tonight is his heel theme from TNA.
Yeah.
Well, okay. See, I don't know anything about that, so it just seemed weird to me.
Yeah, I only saw a comment on Facebook.
Yeah. Joe.
See, I'm of the opposite. I don't mind that he lost because he didn't lose to nobody. He lost to the main character of AEW and Hangman Page.
Yeah.
And like you said, he got his heat back, beat up Adam Page after, turned heel. Is he Don Callis? He's got a little bit of a story. That plus now you like if you just because you debut doesn't mean you should just go on this massive winning streak because it makes it hard to book your character.
What is his nickname?
The walking weapon.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
What if he's like a hired gun that he'll just go around doing shit like this?
I'm not saying he has to go on a complete winning streak. He could lose the next round, but I don't like debuting someone just to have them drop. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It just downplays the debut.
You know what they should do though? They should make Josh Alexander Don Callis's Winter Soldier. He just whispers words and activates them, and he goes.
And he's not normally like this. He's like, "What, guys?"
He should be in the crowd, just wearing normal clothes. He just walks.
Did you guys see the Don Callis tonight?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Callis puts the headgear on, whispers in his ear. Next thing you know, he jumps over the barrier and he jumps into the ring and he has a match. There you go.
No, I want Don Callis to have a spotlight that has headgear, like Batman. And then when they do it, that's when he comes out.
Or he's triggered by that brown noise, and it's all of a sudden, what?
Yeah. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I agree with Joe. And we talked earlier about how the tournament loss really doesn't hurt you, because of the tournament itself. And the reality is that I don't think this hurt him at all. Me personally, I've seen Josh Alexander. I watched TNA when he first debuted and watched TNA mostly because of Josh Alexander. Like, that's how impressive of a wrestler he is. I don't think you got about 80% of what Josh Alexander is all about. In the coming months, you're going to finally see Josh Alexander at 100%.
Question: does AEW have the best Canadians in professional wrestling right
Fuck
now?
yeah!
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I don't even know what Canadians that is. WWE has what? Chelsea Green,
Ethan Page.
No, Ethan Page is in TNA now.
Well, he just crossed over to challenge for the title. He's still NXT, but he's just challenging.
And who else do they have?
Yeah. Well, anyway, AEW has Christian, Kenny Omega, Josh Alexander, Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah. Cope.
Tia Valkyrie.
Kyle O'Reilly, Yeah, it's not even
wrong. The match was
Chris Jericho.
Great. Yeah. The match was amazing. I thought the match was great.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Josh Alexander losing sucked because I love Josh Alexander, but it was made up when he attacked Hangman Page. I liked it. And I think it's going to be an interesting story because now you have Hangman on two different directions. He's at the fork in the road. Does it go Don Callis storyline or Okada storyline? Remains to be seen. I think it's going to go Callis. He's going to spend some time because, in all honesty, and we're going to see it next week, I want to see a Kyle Fletcher Hangman Page match. I think that would be an absolutely amazing match.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to get Hangman and Okada and a Callis family story because we got 6 weeks until freaking Double or Nothing. You got to fill some TV time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, We go to the backstage. It's the patriarchy. Nick Wayne, Kip Sabian, for some reason, is distracted. He keeps looking everywhere. And Mama Wayne. And then Kip turns his head as Nick Wayne is talking. And there's Christian Cage. He's back. They talk about how Nick Wayne said Christian Cage, you know what? You didn't want to, you cashed in because you were afraid Cope was going to be the champ before you. And then he praised Nick Wayne. Canada Dry, your thoughts on this segment?
Yeah, I like this. Announcing that he's part of the Super Juniors.
Yeah.
And not only that, but we're getting Nick Wayne challenging for his first title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week.
Which
Not next week, tomorrow.
tomorrow night.
Oh, right. Tomorrow night.
Yeah. And I think he's going to win that.
Yeah.
I would.
I'm excited about that. And what about that slap at the end to just keep the friction?
Yeah.
His mom's going to console to console him. And get over here. Left alone. Holding his face.
Yeah. Lord Ryan, what's your thoughts?
I liked it. Nick, trying to come out of his father's shadow a little bit, so to say, and then all of a sudden Daddy's home.
Yeah.
And then he's like, at the end, he's like, "Come on, Kip." And then Kip runs around like a little dog. And then he calls Mother, and she leaves her natural born son. And he's left there with like this stinging jaw. But I like the slap because it keeps the tension there. And that's what he said he likes about Nick Wayne right now is that edge. So by keeping that slap, he's keeping him motivated just enough. Like, you can hate me a little bit. This is going to make you better.
Yeah.
And so I like how that's being played out with this whole scenario.
Yeah. Joe.
Yeah, I loved everything about this. This was a fantastic segment. Like, this last month has done more for Nick Wayne than the last, 2 years he's been on this roster.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, if you let the guy do something, he can impress you.
Yeah.
But also, not only is he facing Commander tomorrow night for the ROH TV title, tonight before Dynamite, he taped a match with Michael Oku for ROH.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
and yes, I would absolutely have Nick Wayne win the ROH TV title and then take it to the Best of the Super Juniors tournament.
Oh,
Yeah. That's
that
what
would
you
be
got to do.
yeah. I completely agree.
Especially because it's ROH and you can tape all of his appearances ahead of time. And it's like he never missed anything in ROH.
Yeah.
This is the truth, my teddy bear.
So this Sunday on the All F and Wrestling Show, we got our night one WrestleMania review and prediction show for night 2.
All right.
Canada Dry, can I just take 1 second to stop and say, I think that your beard looks mighty fine this evening.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My beard has gotten a lot of attention.
It's stout and robust.
It's gotten a lot of attention from the ladies lately.
Hey.
Like I'm saying, things are getting interesting for the Canada Dry.
When it rains, it pours, my friend.
Just make sure it's not a ploy from Big Ginger Ale, all right?
She did. That one girl did have red hair.
Oh.
Watch out.
That's
All
just
may not be as it appears.
That's just the ginger, not ginger ale. There's a difference.
Oh. Was she bubbly?
She was bubbly.
Ah, we
Speaking
saw
of which-
Can I ask a question? How long has that been sitting next to you?
My wife got home about an hour ago, so it's been
Oh,
here for
okay. I
about a
thought
minute.
maybe this is.
I just have one question to ask all you guys.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to play PS1?
Wow, nice. How many
Very
games are
nice.
loaded on that?
Just whatever comes with it for the classic. You know what? The PS1 classic was the worst of all the classics because they didn't have like Crash Bandicoot or any of the good PS1 games.
That's
They didn't have
ridiculous.
like Spyro or anything like that.
I don't know, no Spyro. Like none of the good games. Like at least like the mini for Super Nintendo.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
That it was really good. My favorite game on that one is Yoshi's Island.
Yeah. So I don't usually buy consoles when they first come out. Number one, it's ridiculous. Two, there's bugs up the ass. Three, there's like 14 hours of software updates that you have to download. So I wait a while.
Yeah.
So my friend said, "Hey, you're a horror fan. You need to buy the PS1 and play this game called Resident Evil."
Oh.
I said, "All right, not a problem. I'll go ahead and do that."
This many moons ago, right?
Yeah. So I'm in my room. The house is, I'm living with two roommates. The house is dark. I have my lights off so I don't awake anybody. I start playing the game. The scene where the dog bursts through the window, I threw my controller on the floor and said, "Fuck this," and then shut it off.
You know what's funny about that, JP? I was playing this game. I woke up with nightmares, like night terrors.
Yeah.
You know what I did in the middle of the night?
What?
I grabbed the game and broke it in half. It was like intense. That speaks levels of adulation of the game that it affected us that way, right?
I put that game away and didn't play it for a year.
Well, you didn't break yours.
I didn't break mine. My controller broke. I had to buy a new one. The guy, I brought the controller in. I'm like, "Hey, I think my controller is defective." He goes, "It's in pieces." I go, "Oh yeah, it's in pieces, all right." He goes, "I can't take this back. You gotta buy a new one." I'm like, "Oh man." I'm like, "You got glue? We can glue this thing together and make it look brand new." He's like, "Nah, no glue." FTR had a promo about their whole collision thing. I don't want to get into it. It's rehashing the same old, same old.
I just want to say one thing. The best thing about that is what's his name? The guy. I'm not drawing a blank to his name now. All of a sudden, commentator on Collision.
Oh, Tony
Nigel McGuinness?
Adult Moments.
Nigel McGuinness. Dude,
Yeah.
him getting just like being like all big brother with Tony Schiavone was like the greatest. He's like, "You listen to me, you shut up, and you don't do anything anymore."
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh, yeah.
So we go to our third match. It's the Gates of Agony. They are taking on the Hurt Syndicate. We reveal that the next Grand Slam is going to be in Mexico at the Azteca Stadium.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
That's the Arena Mexico, whatever.
Arena
It is exciting because Mexican wrestling fans are the most insane people in the universe. I went to one match in Mexico City, and I swear to God, I thought I was going to be stabbed in the heart with a stalk of corn. They are insane.
So,
If they don't like you as a wrestler, they will throw prosthetic legs and arms. I mean, it's insane. I thought ECW fans were crazy. No, they do not beat Mexican wrestling fans. I don't care where you are from Mexico. I don't care what cartel you work for. They are insano.
I will say,
Lucha Libre es vida.
based on the advertising that's out already, potentially we could get Kenny Omega and Mystico.
Oh, God. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but
I mean, it's in Mexico City. You got to have the biggest.
For the next, like, it's a CLL event. So
yeah, it's co-promoted with CMLL.
So the match itself, listen, you know what? the Gates of Agony are made men. They can go to any promotion they want to, and they would instantly be world tag team champions. These guys are legit, and Tony Khan is pissing them away in Ring of Honor. These guys should be on Dynamite and Collision weekly.
Yep.
These guys should be tagged. These guys aren't tag champions in the next 8 months. I might not watch AEW ever again.
Okay, none of them were silly threats.
You also said the same thing about Moxley retaining his title, and you were here the next night.
You know what you could say? You could if they are tag team champions, I'll skip Muffin Wednesday.
I'll skip Muffin Wednesday. I'll spit on the muffins.
Don't spit on the muffins, JP.
What happens after I didn't like? I thought it was crass. I thought it was rude. I thought it was unnecessary. MJF comes out, as MJF always does, asks to be in the Hurt Syndicate. The Hurt Syndicate. They vote. Yeah, he says, before you vote, I got some stuff in the back for you. He brings out the Ho Train, basically.
Without saying the Ho Train.
Yeah, without saying the Ho Train. Ooh, ooh. A bunch of ladies walking their way into the ring. And then he gave away what looked like an expensive watch. To be honest with you, I've seen it at the mall for like $20. And tells them, hey, you can have them all. I'm going to be part of this Hurt Syndicate because I'm Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I always get what I want. And that's how it pretty much ends. You didn't need the women. You really didn't. I mean, I get it. Sex sells. I'm in an industry where sex appeal is 100%. I've worked on movies where actresses have been lead actresses because they got big tits and they know how to give a blowjob. Like that, I get it. Sex sells. I felt like this is something Vince would have done in the Attitude Era. We're beyond that. Bags of cash work. Suitcases of cash work. Keys to a car work. Half those women were not even really all that pretty. They were pretty.
Well, JP, hold on a second here. If you're saying that, aren't you just as bad?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I am imperfect. I agree with that. So, Canada Dry, your thoughts on the match and shenanigans?
See, I didn't mind the women because they are not there for sex appeal purposes.
Yeah.
They are there to establish what a scumbag MJF is.
Yeah.
That's all they're there. They're not there to go, oh my goodness, he's like, no, they're not there. Like they're all pretty women, but that's not why they're there. They're there to establish that MJF is a scumbag. I agree with you for the Gates of Agony. Like this team is good. This team should be in the championship picture at all times. Like, come on, guys. These guys are awesome. Yeah. If you're not gonna let them go on singles run, I don't know.
Let them go. I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're not going to use them, let them go. Let them go to WWE. They would excel at WWE, especially.
Well, they'd be NXT right away.
Doesn't care about tag team wrestling.
That's true.
That's true. Hey, Maple Leaf Wrestling, New Japan. I mean,
no, but I think like as long as you're getting a paycheck, sometimes,
yeah,
and you're on TV once in a while, sometimes it's the best you can hope for. Do your job and hope someone else notices, right? Yeah. But I love this segment with MJF. I love the angst, and he's pretty much won over 2 out of the 3 Hurt Syndicate guys.
Yeah.
Now with He's got Benjamin. He's eating Benjamin out of his hand. Like, oh my goodness. Let's get Lord Ryan Rich's thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think what's going to happen is we're going to have an MJF versus a Bobby Lashley match where the stipulation is if MJF beats him, he gets the thumbs up, which I have a feeling that's kind of what's going to happen. I don't necessarily think Bobby Lashley should lose to MJF because I think that takes away a lot from Bobby Lashley because Bobby
why?
Lashley,
MJF is the longest reigning world champion AEW has ever had.
True. But Bobby Lashley is the most two-dimensional professional wrestler in the world.
And that's why he has MVP.
Because if MVP was to have a stroke and die today, Bobby Lashley would be the most screwed.
That's okay with being Stokely Hathaway.
he would be the most screwed over professional wrestler in wrestling today. That man can. I don't know how that man even made it into the armed forces because that guy does not speak.
It's
he
the muscle.
like a robot.
It's the muscle.
In the military, all you have to do is scream, "Sir, yes, sir," and you're fine.
Yeah. Hold on, you failed the charisma test. Get him out of here.
Hold on that grenade. All right, I will do that. And then he just falls. Anyways, Lord Ryan Rich, your thoughts on the Gates of Agony?
Yeah. So I'll start with the match. I do agree that the Gates of Agony should be in AEW proper. I mean, this Toa Leone is the only Samoan you have on your roster, and WWE is full of them. This is the one guy that you should push to counteract that.
What are you doing? Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah, Samoa Joe. My bad. I'm sorry.
He's got a big deal.
Either way, but still. And then you have a literal Cameroonian prince.
Yeah.
So you could and the headgear they came out with tonight, the native garb and everything, freaking awesome. I loved it, and the match itself was really, really cool. I didn't think that they would let Gates of Agony get as much offense in as they actually did.
Yeah,
I was very surprised by that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the match. As far as MJF afterwards, I come at it from a different perspective, and this may not be what they're doing, but this is what I'm getting from it. We all know that MJF is the devil, right? Well, to me, everything he's been doing to the Hurt Syndicate are different temptations, different ones of the 7 deadly sins. He's promising them. He's gloating on and telling me how good there is, feeding to their pride.
Vanity.
Shelton Benjamin. He was envious of his watch, so he gave that to him. He's doing the lust with all the ladies. And so, to me, they weren't there for sex appeal. They were there as a temptation.
Nice.
And so when I think I see it that way, I think it was really well done, and I enjoy everything going on with it.
Yeah. Joe.
Okay. First off, don't take this the wrong way. Gates of Agony didn't do anything to earn this tag title match. I'm so sick and tired. I'm going to stand on my soapbox. I'm so tired of a team beating some jobbers and then they get a freaking tag team title match. Stop it. I hate this. It's lazy.
Well, they are 24-3 in ROH this season.
They didn't mention that not once.
It showed on when they were coming in. It's 24-3 in ROH.
You should at least have.
I mean, it's the one line you can mention it, but I'm not going to say they didn't earn it.
I don't say they're on a 15-match winning streak in ROH or something.
No,
but once again, I hate because the last 3 times that the Hurt Syndicate has defended their titles, it's because a tag team beat up some random jobbers.
Because AEW has a tag team problem.
Yeah.
Your best tag teams are involved with stories they shouldn't be involved with. FTR is involved with the whole Sexton Hardcastle. The Bucks are involved with whatever the Death Riders are doing. Your tag team department is kind of weak.
Are you done, Joe? Because I want to just share something.
No, I do want to just say to the post thing. I liked it, but my MVP of that whole thing is Shelton Benjamin.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was great. Like you could
The
just
sell job.
the facials, the comedy, like
the staring at the women and their
he was great.
Yeah, like he was totally buying into
That
the
was
lie.
awesome.
I like that. I'm buying into that theory there, Lord Rich.
Oh, the 7 deadly sins thing?
Yeah.
I think it's a cool way to look at it because, like, no one's on the level of the devil. So what does the devil do? He tempts you.
I have a theory, actually.
Okay.
That the Pinnacle might be getting back together.
Yeah, they have name dropped it a couple times in commentary the last week and a half.
So, like Wardlow coming back,
Yeah.
FTR,
Yeah.
and just coming back as a full unit, not just guys to support MJF.
Yeah.
Like a full like the Pinnacle could be deadly now.
Yeah.
Well,
especially now that you have the Undisputed Kingdom calling themselves the Paragon now.
The Paragon? Yeah.
No, Paragon.
Oh, the Paragon?
Yeah, like Paragon's a virtue.
Yeah. Didn't they used to go by that a long time ago?
They did.
Yeah.
Was it an ROH?
It's just like a side nickname, right? It's not their.
No, it's kind of at the beginning of this whole of them together in AEW before the craziness went on with the devil and the friendship and all that.
Yeah. So Renee's in the back with the Hurt Syndicate. And that rigmarole still continues with the women. Does anybody have anything they want to say about the Hurt Syndicate with Renee?
I think this little interaction suggests that they're not going to have a match because they basically MVP basically talked Lashley into like, let's give it a try. And hey, guess what?
If not, we gonna beat his ass.
We'll hurt him.
Yeah.
He's like you're thinking about you. He's thinking too much with your personal feelings, and this is business.
Yep.
Let's go match number 4. This match had one commercial interruption for 90 seconds.
God.
We had Will Ospreay. We had Takeshita for the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament. I'm going to go first. I'm going to give you the hottest take.
Oh,
The hottest.
boy.
For months, we talked about how this was going to be Ospreay's tournament. And the reality is Ospreay wins the match. So the likelihood is that this will be Ospreay's tournament. However, this should have been Takeshita's tournament. What Takeshita did, Ospreay wrestled Ospreay. Ospreay was amazing. This match was balls to the wall, pay-per-view quality main event. And in all honesty, to Tony Khan, this should have been your main event.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
Period. This was one of the most intricate, brutal, technical, aerial matches I have ever seen. A professional wrestler, almost all the time, you can take one match from a career, whether it's 1 year or 100 years like Ric Flair. You can find that one match and go, that's the match that defines your legacy. The match tonight is going to define both Will Ospreay and Takeshita's legacy. That's how amazing this match was. Canada Dry, you're next, my friend.
Well, that's a pretty hot take you got there, JFB. To say that that's going to define their legacy, well, we'll see down the road what people say. It was a banger. Like Will Ospreay, all these false finishes. It's Will Ospreay's tournament. You're right. Will Ospreay's going to win this and become the world champion at All In.
Yeah.
But don't take anything away from Takeshita. Like, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world right now.
Yeah.
Takeshita is good.
Yep. Lord Ryan Rich.
I mean, the match was nothing short of spectacular, and to get it on free TV on top of that,
Yeah.
like, and to do it with limited commercial interruption, like, they were pushing hard to draw in viewers.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
They're two great performers. They put on a hell of a match. So many times I didn't know who was going to win. Because it just was so back and forth, and they're really just so evenly matched. It was just a really good match, and I realized it's Ospreay's probably tournament. But daggum, this was a good one.
Yeah. This should be Takeshita's tournament. I think Takeshita put out an amazing match. You know, regardless of Don Callis and the Don Callis lookalike, which either they're hiring people to look like Don Callis to be in the stadium, or it's the same guy. I still can't tell the difference if it's the same guy or not.
I don't think it's the same guy.
Yeah. I think what's holding back Takeshita right now is the instability within the Don Callis family. You had a solid foundation, and now all you have is Fletcher and Takeshita.
If you add the Canadian to the group,
yeah,
Josh,
I don't like it because you have this logjam of great wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like, what's his role? Is he 3? Is he 1? Where does he fit?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? It's all, if you watch Formula One, it's kind of like what McLaren is dealing with. You have 2 number 1 drivers, and you have a guy who runs the team that thinks that they're going to give preferential treatment to whoever is racing well that week.
The body double fooled me. What?
Yeah.
What?
The Don Callis body double.
Right. Yes. That was a good one.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where they take Takeshita from here. Because there's a lot of ways they can either really pump him up and really put him on a rocket ship, or they can put him in quicksand without a rope or a limb to grab onto. I mean, that's technically where they're at. Joe, your thoughts on the match?
This match was insane. I absolutely this got my adrenaline rush like how a pay-per-view match does.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it. It was great. I love when guys do each other's finishers like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Even better is my son walks in from his dance class and sitting here for a few minutes and Will hits the Styles Clash.
Yeah.
And they called it the Styles Clash on TV. And my son like lost his mind because he can't comprehend other companies referencing other companies because he's always been a WWE kid.
Yeah.
And he doesn't grasp that outside the WWE bubble,
yeah,
everyone else references everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
That blue thunder bomb was amazing.
Oh, the way he hit it too, like right out of the freaking Oz cutter, and
yeah,
it was great. Like he had Takeshita had some great timing on some of them reversals. Like for the second or third time that Will went for the Oz cutter and he just threw that elbow.
He punched him out of the air.
Yeah.
And you know what? I agree with Don Callis. I don't think anyone has a heavier forearm hit than Takeshita.
Yeah,
because they sound lethal.
Hey,
yeah,
the punches Monet and the theater throwing, you could hear those across town.
Yeah.
That's how loud some of those were. So we go to our 5th match. It's the main event. There's no shenanigans from commercial break into the next. We go right into the next match. So the Death Riders come minus Pac, who actually is the trios part of the trios championship. Instead, he's not here for visa reasons. We're given Jon Moxley. And Marina Shafir is wearing the trios belt, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because it made me start questioning, is this a trios match? Like, is this going to be for the trios championships? Does Jon Moxley has he not had his championship belt shot yet? And that's the reason why he avoids touching them? Is that the reason why the championship is in a suitcase?
He's allergic to the medals.
Yeah, he didn't get his inoculations. My God, if you want to go somewhere, you got to get inoculations. That's how it works. Jon Moxley, go get your shot at Walgreens. I think it's free under insurance. But it's Joe and Shibata, and for some reason, Joe and Shibata just stand there. And the trio champions are like, dude, what the hell? Let's do this. And then Powerhouse Hobbs theme music hits. And the first thing that comes to my mind is Hook couldn't have gotten hurt any sooner than this. Nothing against Hook, and I hope he's okay. But Hook is not a trios champion. But Powerhouse Hobbs has that clout to be.
You know what? You know what's the first thing that came to my mind, JFB? That meme where you hit like the upgrade button.
Yeah.
Where it goes to power and you're like perfection.
Yeah, like that this team is legit.
Yeah.
Like you look at Samoa Joe,
yeah.
You look at Powerhouse Hobbs,
yep,
and Shibata. Like that's a badass team compared to the three guys on the other side.
Everything that happened with this match kind of coincided with storylines they have going. The Bucks show up. Willow shows up. Swerve shows up. At the end, we get the Ops defeating the Death Riders for the Trios Championship.
Whoa. You know what?
What?
I don't think Hook is hurt. I think it's storyline.
Okay.
Because on the promo last time Samoa Joe was talking, I think it was on Collision.
Yeah.
He says, we might be looking to recruit someone.
Yeah.
And who does that end up being but Powerhouse Hobbs?
Okay. I like that. That's a good one.
I think that's what's planned because that's a badass team. Yeah. And then Hook is free to do single stuff.
Yeah. So we get some quasi bingo ball number of wrestlers that come out to celebrate AEW's triumph over the Death Riders. Willow was out there. Ospreay was out there. Ospreay looked like he was wearing like a napkin on his head with champagne. Champagne was spraying everywhere, but I was like, where is everybody else? Like,
what came out after that?
Yeah, I mean, like, get some other guys out there. You know, like, get a decently sized filled ring. Here's my only issue with this match and with AEW going into smaller stadiums. Jon Moxley and the Death Riders like to come through the crowd in order to get there. Now, in some smaller arenas, there are entrance ways and ways to get to the ring without too much fan interaction. Here in Boston, they had to go through a Boston crowd. I'm a Bostonian. I'm crazier than crazy. It takes one person with something sharp to stab Jon Moxley for them to start reconsidering the number.
That being said, JFB, this crowd was awesome tonight.
This crowd was amazing.
This was one of the best crowds of the year.
I am jealous of this crowd. But you're putting your wrestlers in danger when you're mixing fandom with alcohol. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but Steffi Graf, a tennis player, was on the court playing when a fan stabbed her in the back with a knife.
That was Monica Seles.
Monica Seles, that's what I meant. Monica Seles.
That was Steffi Graf.
People are not right in the head sometimes. And sometimes fandom leaks into reality. And I think when you're at arenas like this, a walkway entrance would have sufficed a lot more than the 10 minutes it took the Death Riders to get from outside to the ring for the start of the match. It's scary. I can speak from film side. Insurance is not cheap for film production. I can't imagine a live events insurance is cheaper. I'm sure it's a lot more expensive. But you're putting your guys at risk, and if there's something that happens to a wrestler that costs him his career, what do you do? Like, these are serious questions that
you got to look at the little things and the attention to detail.
Yeah. The match itself was good. It was a good match. It was great to see the ops. I like Samoa Joe hanging back. I like Samoa Joe handing the belt over and saying, "You're part of us. You are the Trios champion." Canada Dry, you go first.
See, what I like about this this match and Powerhouse Hobbs getting the shine on this. It's another push for Powerhouse. I think he's a big deal. There's a moment that I was worried that Swerve was getting too much attention.
Yeah.
The crowd swerved they had to get it back on the match. But it was well done. Like, everything went back to normal. And like the moment when they started celebrating, people came to the ring. I love this because it's like, this is prepping us for when Will Ospreay takes the belt.
Yeah.
This is the battle before the war. It's like taking over.
Yeah. To me, it felt like you were trying to shave pieces of a puzzle to make them fit. The whole AEW versus the Death Riders has not really been told all that well. Like, remnants of it are like bread trails. It's there if you look for it. If you get lost, there are bread trails that are on the ground.
Yeah, you know what? I want to hear what Lord Ryan Rich has to say, because this guy's a badass and he's got some interesting thoughts.
Lay it on us.
This whole thing was complete dog shit.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. I don't have a problem with the Ops winning the Trios titles per se. I think this was done because I think Pac is legitimately injured. I think he has like a broken ankle or something, so he's going to have to miss time. So I can understand why this happened. I don't like how it happened. I understand Mox being in there because you have to have him in there if they're going to drop the belts. I get that. But then it's like, okay, so Will is the Trios champion. If that doesn't cause some sort of friction within the Ops, to me, that's a wasted opportunity, and I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason Powerhouse Hobbs should have been there. I don't know if Hook is injured. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have your world champion get choked out to lose. Dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb. Completely stupid. That's what Wheeler Yuta is for.
Yeah.
There's no reason why your champion should be taking the L in this and looking weak.
Yep.
it doesn't make any sense. I don't like the fact that Swerve got like 30 seconds of airtime where everyone's just chanting his name, and Samoa Joe and John Moxley have to sit and wait in the corner.
Yeah.
For everything to calm down. It looked clunky.
Yeah.
I like the celebration at the end just because it reminded me of old school like WCW when they won against the NWO. So it gave me some member berries for that, and I enjoyed that. But overall, this was clunky and not the way to hand over the titles.
Yeah. Joe.
I disagree. I think it's perfect that Moxley's the one.
I think everyone disagrees with me so far, and that's fine.
No, but I'm not
No,
just.
but let's just say, like, I like that we're all having different opinions. We don't all have to agree that's what makes the show cool, right?
Yeah, true.
But see, I personally, I think because the story is all no one can handle me. No one wants to step up. Well, now you have something for 6 weeks before Double or Nothing. You can do a little thing with Joe and Mox if you want.
Yeah.
Because he pinned the champion. It's like, I took your trios titles and I choked you out. Let's go.
Yeah.
But to me, this is like the perfect tribute to WCW. The night that AEW passes WCW in weekly episodes, you put on a classic WCW main event. Freaking just controlled chaos everywhere, because this is like how every single WCW show would end, is just complete chaos with Shivani saying, tune in on Thursday to see what happens type deal. Yeah. So as long as this doesn't become a recurring theme, I'm cool with it.
All right.
So
I'm going to address this because this is a loaded question, but I think it deserves to be addressed because
I think it doesn't matter. I think that's like,
because I'll let you answer in a sec, Joe, but I just want to say it's impossible for him to be a white guy. It's not what he was born as. He's a badass black man, and it's what Swerve does.
Yeah,
is entertain people, and he's good at it.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with the skin of his color of his skin, because AEW has a number of black people that are lower down the card.
Yeah.
So, anyone else want to say anything?
Yeah, I don't like these kind of questions because to me this is implying that he's only there because he's black, and to me that's a load of bullshit.
Yeah,
because Swerve is freaking charismatic and he's great. He's busted his ass and he works hard to get where he is. And I feel like asking that credit, nothing against this gentleman here, I just feel like it does a massive disservice to Swerve.
Yep, I agree.
I think the reason why this question comes up is because these are people that were formerly in AEW and held down and didn't get to share their own creative ideas. So when you see them come, like Ricochet is doing much right now, you get to see these people as an actual character and they get to develop their own character. So we fall in love with the character that we see. So our perception of them is who they present themselves as in the ring. It doesn't have to do with the color of their skin. It has to do with what they bring and who their character is. That's what is always going to sell someone in wrestling. Like, I don't think that it matters that the Hurt Syndicate are black dudes instead of white dudes. Like, I don't think that matters. I don't think that people perceive the black. Like, I don't think they would be perceived as better because they were white. If that's
look at the main event. Look at the opener of the show. We had two black ladies tear it up. I mean,
and that's the end of that topic.
All right, guys, we're at the end of the show, which means we have to enter the flower shop. As you enter the door and the little bell rings, you're greeted by Canada Dry, Lord Ryan Ritchie, VP Joe, and the almighty JFB. And we offer you.
Do we have a t-shirt shop for Adrian Adonis?
We offer you a chance to purchase at ProWrestlingTees.com/Adrian Adonis, where you can get all of your Adrian Adonis gear. Best match, favorite segment, number of bells, and a story or
first crush. Yeah.
Canada Dry, you go first.
All right. My match of the night is probably everyone's match of the night, and that is Takeshita and Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
What we can say about this match is it was a It was a barn burner. It was a show stealer. And it was the real main event. My segment of the night is Okada and his little facial expressions. Smile, smile, and then bitch.
All right.
And my elementary school crush goes out to I guess she's a lady now, a lady named Leanna, and
Okay.
all the kids had a crush on Leanna,
Okay.
and she would drive me nuts because I would try to tease the other kids, and she'd be just like, "You're only saying that because you're jealous," and she would call me out. But the show I give this a 4.75. It was that good.
Yeah. Lord Reinrich.
My favorite match is actually going to be the opener, Mercedes and Athena, because as much as I enjoyed Ospreay and Takeshita, I've seen that before. I haven't seen Mercedes and Athena. So for me, that gives it a slight edge. My segment of the night is MJF. I like what he's doing with everything. I think it's fun to watch. As far as bells go tonight, like I said, I didn't agree with the main event. So that skews my score a little bit, and I'm going to give this a 4.32.
Okay.
And my promise story. So one day in 5th grade, coming off the bus, I enter the school and I am flooded by several members of the 5th grade wondering if I was going to date a girl named Leslie. Apparently, this girl Leslie had a crush on me.
Oh.
I was unaware of this. So the day goes on, and the last period of the day, either you had homeroom or you had economics or something like that. And economics, you were allowed to buy and sell goods during a certain time. Well, someone brought a note over to me from Leslie.
Oh.
I go home. I read this note to my mother. And there was one line in particular that caught her attention. And that line was, "Rich, I think you have a really cute smile. And butt." My mother immediately reads the note and goes, "Doug, we need to buy him looser fitting jeans."
Oh,
and that's my story.
I love you. I love you, Rich.
And what did you give the show?
4.32. It's your turn, Joe.
Okay. Yeah, my match of the night is Takeshita and Ospreay. I wanted to give it to the women, but God, they're just undeniable tonight. My segment is Christian and Nick Wayne. Loved everything about that. I have a bad memory, so I don't really remember any crushes I had. Like I said, that was forever ago. I mean, I could tell you a story. I remember there was this girl that I liked, and my best friend liked her too, and like some reason he stopped talking to me, even though I didn't do anything. So I just ended up taking the girl to the dance, just to prove a point to him. I'm like, if you're gonna be an ass, I got you. Don't worry, I'll give you a reason to be one.
Many times I have done things.
Girl.
And I swore to myself I would never do this, but my bell rating on this night is 4.76. A Bob Barker gym. Take that, Canada Dry.
Oh, you Bob Barker me.
I'm
gonna reach in. You know what Bob Barker did? He's reach in his pocket and give out one of these.
All right, I'm going to start with my story and my crush. Her name is Beth Giordano. Still lives in Boston. I had a huge crush on her. She had these really cute
Giordano, that's a great last name.
Yeah, curly curls. And I'm sitting in church, and I'm like 2 pews behind her, and I am just like locked in on her. And she turns around while service and while the priest is giving his whatever. She turns around and goes, "Stop staring at me, James. It's creeping me out." In the middle of church.
I'm just like interrupting. That's a baller story right
Woo!
there.
Awesome.
Man. Anyways,
JFB, you're my hero.
Up until the main event, I would have said every match was my favorite match. But the main event went ahead and kicked me in the balls and said, "Not today." Takeshita and Ospreay for the win. Favorite segment. I gotta say, my favorite segment was the shenanigans at the end of the main event. Swerve, I mean, like, I get it. Swerve shouldn't have been on there longer than 10 seconds, but, you know, it was just good to see the shenanigans happen that led to the AEW people coming out and celebrating with Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs and Shibata, which I thought was great. So that was my favorite segment. The main event should not have been the main event. It should have been Ospreay and Takeshita, period. And that really, the main event hurt my overall score. 4 bells is what I give it. I can't give it anything else more. The whole MJF situation, and then the just not good main event really knocked it down for me. So what's our cumulative score?
4.4575.
4.575. Not bad for a Dynamite.
No,
not bad for a Dynamite.
No, it's a good show. To me, the main event was just too much for me to overcome.
Yeah, same here, guys. If you want to
get this.
Yeah.
While we're talking about our elementary school crushes,
yeah,
I'm getting a text from my current crush.
Oh. Ooh, look at
Canadian crush.
It's got a little buck.
She said she's not she appreciates Muffin Wednesday, but she's not having a muffin. But you know, women.
That's like a deal breaker.
I mean, I've dumped.
No, listen. When they're that good looking, you can pass. You can look away from the muffins.
Yeah, I mean, I've dumped women for less. I mean, I dumped a girl because she walked like a duck. So I stopped dating a girl.
If she's walking like a duck, maybe she is a duck.
Like her toes out, it drove me nuts. I couldn't get.
Do you know who would be into her?
Who?
Liam.
Oh,
talking to ducks.
So, anyways, guys, how do you get a hold of us? Multiple ways to do it. Clickety-clack on your keyboard. All the links are down below. Allows you to connect with us and us to connect with you, because that's what it's about, the social experiment of life. It's about connection. Connect with us. While you're at it, buy a shirt. ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling. Gets you all of your effing wrestling gear. Guys, we got shirts coming out the yazoo. We have designs right now that are in production as we speak. We are constantly coming up with ideas for shirts. So buy yourself a couple. Knock them off.
Get a Lord Ryan Rich shirt. You know you want to.
God only knows he wears them at AEW events.
You know you want to.
Anyways, guys, on behalf of Canada Dry, Lord Ryan Rich, EVP Joe, I am the Almighty JFB.
And I just want to say that, like, sometimes if you're struggling, we're here for you. And just reach out to your friends, your community, and the dread always falls away, and the sun comes out, and you laugh, and you have new love and new life, and just keep fighting. Simba, I am your father.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been Tony Schiavone for the All Fan Wrestling Network.